Hi! Today I've decided to add some sound in here just because we're doing something a little different. So today, I usually paint with acrylics, but I've decided to do something with oils. Now what I've done to start out with is taken a black canvas with black gesso, and I'm going to start off with white acrylic paint. Now you can use white gesso because it works well, and I'm using a liner brush right now. And what I want to do is I want to create the basic shape for a glass vase. So you can use any shape you want, and I really have a very loose idea in my mind. The real trick to painting glass is you want the patterns that come through it. And they're very tricky, but I'll show you a very easy way to kind of fool your audience. So the first thing you need to do is make some sort of a glass shape, like this. Now, what I want to do is create little X's on this glass vase after I put in the lines where the edges are. Because this vase that I'm doing isn't round, so there are going to be definite hard edges to it. Okay, here goes. First X. Just all the way up. X is all the way up. And you want to try and keep the same number and size of X's on each face of the vase. So when I go and do this, I'm going to try and keep the X's at the same spots. If you want to do waves on your vase, that could work too, but if you're going to follow along with just this, maybe stick to this the first time, then try something different. So the next thing we want to do is we just want to block in a little bit of color where the light's really going to shine. So between the X's you have little squares or diamonds. That's really where you want to throw in a couple strokes. They should follow the same direction as the X's, so they should go diagonally down and diagonally up. Okay? And you don't need them every single spot, but basically you're going to have little white squares between all these X's, and it creates a really nice pattern. And it's very simple, very easy to fool someone's eye looking at it. Say, oh, you must have spent hours and hours doing this, and you must really study vases a lot. And I'm like, oh, I got a trick. But don't tell them your trick unless you're a painter, okay? It's kind of your little secret. So while we're doing this, let's just talk really quick. Mention one more time, this is acrylic paint right now, and I said that we're going to use oil paints today. So that's still true. What I'm going to do is after I finish painting this, I'm going to add just a hint of a lip on the back side there. You see? Now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go off and eat a sandwich or something to let it dry just for a couple minutes. It probably needs about 20 minutes to dry. And I mean, if you're using this gesso, it should dry fairly quickly because you aren't really putting on too much. You see that one blob there, that was a bit of a mistake, but you know, mistakes are fine and it'll work itself out, or maybe it'll just be our light source hitting that over there. I'm going to define the edges just a tad bit more. And the bottom of the vase also reflects quite a bit of light, so on the corners there, you really want to give it a good spot. Okay, so I let it dry, and now what I'm doing is brushing across a oil substance, an oil medium called liquid. What liquid does is it thins the oil paint out, and it makes our canvas wet so that the paint will blend across it easier. But really why I like it is because it speeds up the drying time or the curing time of the oil paint. So I can paint this, and if I don't use too much, it'll be dry within a couple hours. You can't even see it right now, but what I'm doing is I'm putting on a dark brown onto the canvas. You can use a lighter brown like burnt sienna if you would like. The dark brown will work really nicely because we want some sort of a table or something that our vase is sitting on. And now I'm just create something of a wood grain. I don't want it too strong, so I'm just gonna hint at some sort of a surface there. Perhaps some sort of a fabric or something, and that would be fine too. Now go into alizarin crimson and make some very loose round shapes up above the vase on your canvas. These are going to be where our flowers are. So I've got one there, and I'm going to put another one. We put the vase off the center of the canvas, so we really now need to go over towards the center and up towards the top with these flowers and things. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to put some here and there. It doesn't matter too much where. You can also vary the colors. Like for this one, put a little more yellow in it, so it's going to be a little bit more orange. The real secret is just to have a little bit of variety, but nothing too extreme. Very flattened out oval, and maybe some face to the left and some face to the right. If you wanted to, you could go and put some petals down on the bottom where we have that table. And what you want as you'll notice, my narration doesn't quite sync up with my lips because it's much easier for me to than it is to record everything all at once. But what I want to do now is I want to take a brighter color. For this I'm going to use some red, some bright red, cadmium red, and just pull from the inside of the pull from the outside of the petals towards the center, and make sure that you follow the contours that these petals would be making. So really this is up to you, but you can tell whether things are going to look strange or not, because petals on one side will curl one way while petals on the other side curl the other. So see how my brush one time will be held underneath my hand and be pulling up and around, and the other time it will be held in front of my hand pulling up and around. That creates the different shapes. Same thing for this flower. And remember, don't paint a circle. So the petals will touch each other, but from the outside there should be some sort of a separation or a difference in length between the petals. What you also want to do is you also want to add a dark color in the center, and then sweep that color out just a bit in whatever direction these flowers face. So the one on the left faces to the left, so I pull it up to the left. This one faces down, so this one faces down to the right, so I pull it down to the right.